broski.
So, pub, let me step in and say this. I've read on this extensively. It's called avoidant abuse. If you intentionally withhold smacks or emotional support in order for you to gain some type of advantage or to teach them a lesson, that's a form of abuse because that person is relying on your physical need to fill an emotional void. That is abuse. It's categorized, it's proven, it's documented. You can read about it. It's called avoidant abuse.
Who made that up, Mello?
It could be the same people that made up financial abuse. It's just people rely on people for
No, I'm
emotions.
genuinely
That
asking who coined the term avoidant abuse? Who came up with that?
I'm. I mean,
Uh,
I don't know. I didn't research
misogynist,
that far back
a
in detail,
misogynistic
but
white
it's a
female.
real thing.
A
It's a real
misogynistic
thing.
white female. It is a theory. I'm not denying that it's a theory. That doesn't mean that it's actually abuse. By the way, it is a theory, right? The this is leads me back to my prompt. I love it because it keeps going back to that. This is why, though, we should not validate men.
For real.
We should not validate men's feelings, y'all. Y'all say
Literally.
men keep saying stuff that as a group, because I think most men actually would agree with Mello. I think most men actually agree with Woos on this. I don't want to make y'all seem like y'all are outliers. I don't think Mello and Woos are the outliers here. I think they are the average man. I think the average man actually thinks that money is the same as sex.
Hmm.
I do.
This
Absolutely.
public. It's not a money thing. This is an emotional thing. That's not a man thing. Emotions are not. That's a people thing. That's why I said avoidant abuse
Mello,
covers
what does my
people,
vagina
not
have to do
just
with your
man or
emotions?
women, because women emotionally abuse men also.
They
So
do.
that's
They
not just a
can.
one way
They
thing.
can. Yeah, no, no.
That's why I
Women,
said it's a people thing.
but that's not the way that women emotionally abuse men by withholding. They can.
Like,
I agree, but that ain't the way.
how are your emotions attached to my vagina? That's a you problem.
Sound like something you got to get over for sure.
That's how men feel close to their woman.
What?
That's
That's
a you
that's one
problem.
of
That's
Again,
that's one of the ways men feel closeness to their woman. It's through
listen, Moves,
intimacy.
if your emotional well-being is based on how many times a week or month I open my legs to you, that is a you problem. That's not my fault.
that is y'all don't be under you woos. You don't think that's problematic to think you don't because that's the problem with a lot of men. We think we only view intimacy through sex. That's a problem that women have with us. They're constantly trying to get us to actually be intimate in the way that we act, the way, in our actions, not the physical ones, in the way that we think, the way that we talk, the way we want to be intimate with them. A kiss, a touch, listening to them, things of that nature. That's intimacy. Looking at them in their eyes, that's intimacy. Men go, oh, that's how we experience intimacy through smacks. Like, that's the only way, and that's a disconnect.
I
And
said one of the ways.
Hang on. Hold on, Wolves. Hey, public. Check it out. So you
Yeah,
want to sit
hello.
here? Hang on, Wolves. Let me hit this from public. You just brought this up from somebody off of YouTube. You said ED. If you're in your physical prime and somehow you suffer from ED, then if she constantly wants that affection from you and you can't provide that, you're abusing her. She's
you're
actually being.
not.
Yes, you are because
No,
you're
you're not.
causing
Hold
you
on, hold on.
public. Listen to me. Listen to me. If if that's what you've been providing her and that's the way you guys connect and that's how y'all come across as being intimate and you can't provide that no more, that's going to cause some emotional damage if you can't do that at all and if you refuse to even go try to get any help for it. If you just accept it as that and she has to live like that forever, that's going to cause some type of emotional or some type of mental damage because that's a
Um,
whole section of their life that they're accustomed to that they feel close to you with. Now they have to do without that forever.
hold on, wait. I need to say something real quick. So, two things. Um, you can damage your own emotions and your own. Really, that's an ego damage. But you can damage your own emotions. So, what I'm saying is you can feel like that's emotional damage. You can believe that. You could feel like she damaged you emotionally because your ego was hurt or whatever the case may be. You can feel like that, and it could really have real implications. It could really mess with you or whatever. No doubt about it. That's a you problem, not a her problem. Secondly, what Mello is describing is the reason why most men or a lot of men leave their women when the women get sick. Because if a man has ED, which is a medical condition, and then women view that as abuse, which I don't know any women that actually would view that as abuse, but let's just say that there are women out there that would view that as abuse, and they leave their man because he has ED, right? I would look at those women with a side eye. The same way I would look at men who abandon their wives when their wives and their girlfriends get sick. The same way. I'm looking at y'all the same way. What, because she can't sleep with you? So now she's no use to you? Now you got to leave her? Wow. Okay. So you're just because in men's minds, that's what sex is. Sex is everything to us. It's everything to us. It's water. It's what y'all remember the booty burglar? The dude that was in prison that was talking about booty all the time, and he was like, booty in jail is more important than air. Booty is more important than food. That's what y'all sound like. Y'all sound like the booty burglar. Stop being obsessed with women's bodies, and y'all wouldn't have these problems.
Public, it's not sex. You're looking at it as sex. You can say
it is sex.
Hang on, public, because I can refuse to not even hug you. I can refuse to not touch you. Eventually, it's going to cause some type of emotional response because now you're blocking something that they deem as vital to your relationship. So you can just say all of a sudden, I don't like you, I don't want to touch you, but it's going to cause some emotional damage, which is going to be considered abuse if you're doing that willingly.
Sir, we got you know what's crazy about that is that a lot of men be feeling like emotional damage and emotional abuse be when when the women clock our bullshit. A lot of men be taking that as she's abusing us. That's why men's feelings should not be validated, because men don't even know what abuse is, and we refuse to learn what abuse is. So why am I listening to a group of people who don't know what abuse is tell me about abuse and claim that they've been abused? Then when I ask them what is abuse, they don't even know. They think I ain't Ike Turner. I ain't Chris Brown. Okay. Okay. But are you withholding finances because she's not giving you smecks? You're an abuser. Are you withholding finances because you're afraid she's gonna go out and cheat on you? You're an abuser. You're asking her when she's like, hey, she gotta come to you and ask you for gas money every 2 days or whatever the case may be, or every week. She gotta come and ask for you for $50 to go to Target, and you like, what you need from Target? That is financial abuse. That is financial abuse. Yeah. Y'all be thinking that shit is normal. Most men think that's like, oh, what I gotta protect her from herself and da 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 da. No. You abusing that woman. Stop it. You lying to her? That's abuse. You cheated on her. That's abuse. You neglected her, not physically, but emotionally. That's abuse. Yeah. Same thing with your kids.
Public, that's what I just finished saying, and now you're gonna turn around and say, public, you just said if you neglected her emotionally, that's abuse. That's what avoidance is. That's what avoidant abuse is when you neglect somebody emotionally. That can be by physically not touching them. That can cause emotional abuse.
Mello, you keep making emotional neglect all about physical touch. Like
No, I
everything
said,
that
but
you
no,
are.
that's another form of shenanigans. That's only one form of emotional abuse. Because if that's something that you know that person looks forward to, that they enjoy, and you physically withhold it from them for the purpose of punishing them, that's abuse.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not, because if
If
I
I don't
tell
touch
you,
you for
Mello,
years
stop
because I'm
interrupting me. I'm
punishing you,
letting you
I'm not
finish.
abusing you.
I'm letting you finish. I need you to do the same for me, please. It's not abuse, because you keep, again, You keep relating emotional abuse to something physical. So if I'm meeting every one of your needs, every time you need to talk about something, every time you're feeling down, I'm there for you. I'm helping you seek therapy. I'm doing the whole thing. The only thing I won't do is have sex with you for whatever reason. It could be a physical, whatever. It really doesn't matter. I'm just not having sex with you. But I'm meeting every single other one of your emotional needs. For you to still turn around and say I'm emotionally abusing you because you know I like the box and you're not giving it to me is crazy.
Completely different thing. That's a completely different monster. Where Mello go? No way, Mello. Nasty work.
No, he runs.
Nobody dropped you.
Yeah, he don't like to really get the smoke.
Hold on, who said that? Woos, you said that?
Yeah. When it says
What up?
somebody probably dropped him, nobody
What
dropped
up,
him. We don't
sir? How
drop
are you?
people over here
That
unless
wasn't
somebody speak
Woos.
for us.
That was Mello. That was Mello.
What?
I ain't dropped.
I know. No. That was Mello who said that because AJ didn't say that and Woos didn't say that. That was crazy. He like a ghost up here.
Right, that's weird.
That was crazy. Anyways, yeah, that's not abuse. I did a whole live on this. I don't want to keep going with that though. Y'all tripping. But it just goes back into my original point of why I don't be validating men's feelings. I would never validate that. I think that's crazy for men to Mello, where'd you go? They ain't even drop you, bro. You gotta
If
stay up here.
someone, he said, if someone quits touching you in a relationship, you are now friends and friends only. I mean, hey, I guess. Like I said, I know that a big part of relationships, especially for men, is the sexual part. That's like the main part for y'all, but that's the problem. Like y'all don't even see intimacy or emotional connection in really anything outside of sex. So like I said, she could be doing everything under the sun to meet your emotional needs, and she could be the most intimate partner you've ever been with. But if y'all aren't having sex, you don't care about any of that.
hmm And that and that is and that is a you problem. You need to work on that because if you are willing to swap that out just so you can have smacks, kind of wild.
Yeah, that's not an equal exchange. Like finances and a person's physical body isn't equal. So I don't like that comparison at all. Like that's not a good comparison. It's not equal. But
But people do it all day though, AJ. That's
that's what I be saying, man. Sometimes I'm gonna have to just get up here by myself, dog. Because as soon as I get up here and then somebody else go here, I get to looking bad. I be like, man, I can't even make my, I can't even have the actual
you
debate.
your
Because
AJ, you your own man, bro. You be saying little problematic stuff, but if you know whatever, but trust me, trust me. Um, money is not the same as vagina or peen. It's just not, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not the same. And I don't know why. I don't know. Just because you can pay for it doesn't mean it's the same. You know what I'm saying? Like the investment isn't the same. Whatever money you pay for her is not the same as her giving her body to you. You know what I mean? It's still not an equal exchange at the end of the day. So if she says it's $150 a goal, a roll around, or he says it's $150 a roll around, it's still not an equal exchange for them. That's just what they're willing to take for their body. But I don't deem it as an equal exchange
Exactly.
because how much is a person's life?
Exactly. It's priceless. Like it's literally a priceless thing. It's a human being, it's a human body, it's a human life. It's
Yeah,
not something that, and because people have put prices on it, I think y'all have gotten confused, or not because of that. But yes, people can put their own prices on it, but it's never going to be an even exchange because money is something tangible that you can go get, you can lose, whatever. But a person, once they're gone, they're gone.
yeah.
Can't get it back.
It's like football. It's like playing football. Like, yeah, they made $100 million in their career, but now they got CTE and their brain is eating itself. Is your brain only worth $100 million or like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Some people could put a price on it. That's their I think it's priceless. I think your brain is priceless. I don't know how much it could be worth whatever it's worth on the black market. Your kidney, your organs could be worth whatever they're worth. But to me, my kidneys are priceless. My organs are priceless. You know what I'm saying? The only way I'm giving up one of my kidneys is if I know you. You my son, you my kin, you my wife, you know what I mean? Whatever, you my brother, some shit like that. I'm not giving it up for the sake of giving it up. Like, there's just somebody out there that needs a kidney. No, hell no. They're willing to give you 100 million. I'm good, bro. I'm straight. You got it. I'll figure it out. I ain't desperate. I'm eating. Hey, Wools, I had to mute you up. You had a lot of background noise. You can unmute though. When other people was talking. You good? All right, there we go. 133,000 likes, man. Let's get them likes up. Let's get to 150 real quick. We got GV in the house. So I think now that we've gotten to this place, Woos, are you starting to understand why I personally believe that we shouldn't be validating men's feelings, or are you not? Are you still not understanding that?
I'm understanding why you saying it, but I'm still validate men who come and tell me their stories.
Me too. I'll validate you. You tell me something, I believe it. Hey, that's crazy. That's fucked up. Men come up here and be like, my wife cheated on me. I don't be like, what did you do? I'm like, she cheated on you. She shouldn't have cheated. Because there's no justification for me almost. There's almost no justification for cheating.
I feel what you're saying though. There's a couple examples I heard, like you say like if a man say like his wife abusing him because she withholding sex, I feel like that shouldn't be validated, but it should also be listened to because it's probably not abuse, but it's messed up to a certain extent.
But the thing about it is, men don't really want to have this conversation because then I'm going to ask the natural question is, well, why is she withholding smacks from you?
Be anything. Say you're not making enough money. Would that be a problem?
But you see what I'm saying, Woos? I'm married. I've been married for a long time, right? To me, right? Mm-hmm. I've been in a relationship for a long time. I've been in 23 years of relationships in my life, in my adult life. 23 years of relationships, right? For my 42 years. What women just don't wake up one day and just withhold smacks from you.
I know that.
Right? The same way they don't just wake up one day and leave you. And I'm not saying that no woman has ever done it. I'm just saying in general, women don't do that. That's not something that women do. To me, women do the opposite of that. Women do the opposite of that.
What you mean?
Women often go out of their way to give you access even when you don't deserve it. Okay. Even when you're not making them happy, even when they're not satisfied, they go out of their way to give you their body, right? So when men try to turn around and be on that like, oh, nah, women be withholding smacks and that, I'm like, I'm not saying it never happens. It happens. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying the vast majority of the time in any given relationship right now, my next door neighbor's relationship, across the street, down the street, my brother, my cousin, I can almost guarantee you that that the vast majority of these people, men, are getting smacks when they don't deserve it. And when I say they don't deserve it, I mean they're not meeting their wife's needs. The vast majority of men aren't meeting their woman's needs, but yet we're still having smacks. I know that's true for me, and that's something that you projected. Am I, or am I just fucking being honest about it? Because I'm not. I don't feel like I'm projecting when I say that. I got statistics to back that up.
There's been times where I got sex and didn't deserve it. I feel what you're saying.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here going, where are we getting this idea that women are just waking up and we're all just coming out of nowhere, just like, I just want to, no box for you, no vagina for you. Like that's not happening, right? It's brought on by extreme abuse from the man, or extreme, I'm gonna call it abuse, but I was gonna say neglect. Extreme neglect, aka abuse from the man. Why are you not, giving me access to your body anymore? Have that conversation with her. Oh, it's because you've been ignoring me for 6 months. We haven't talked, we haven't sat down and spoken in 3 weeks. I brought up an issue to you 2 months ago and you haven't addressed it yet. You haven't corrected your behavior yet. I feel like I'm not being heard. It be shit like that. So let's be real. Like, that's what's going on 99% of the time. So what am I worried about the 1, the 2, the 4, the 5% of the time when the women are doing it because they just want to hurt the man? Whatever. I'll excuse that. The vast majority of the time, though, it is a reaction to something the man is doing first. So why don't we start with that? Why are we focusing on the woman not giving up smacks? Why are we not focused on, hey, why did you stop giving them smacks? Oh, that's easy. I'm glad you asked. Brrr. Let's have that conversation. That's the conversation that's worth having. The conversation about her not giving you smacks, not worth having that conversation because it's her body. The conversation about why she's withholding it from you, though, that's the conversation. That should be a whole live. That should be 4 hours. We just talking to men about why she's not being affectionate with you anymore, why she won't do that little thing in bed with you anymore that she used to do back in the day. Let's talk about that. Why did
Can I
she change?
also add one
Go ahead.
caveat? As a woman that I think a lot of y'all don't think about too, is that usually when a man is being neglectful, abusive, whatever, let's just say neglectful, let's take the abuse out. Usually when a man is being neglectful in every other area of the relationship, he's also neglectful sexually.
Facts.
So her withholding is another symptom of that because she knows that after a full day of being ignored and neglected, she's going to lay down and have sex with you. And that's just going to be one more time before she goes to sleep at night that her needs aren't going to be met, but yours will be.
That's a sad existence. Go